A big iconic skyline is something every major city is proud of. But what if some cities take it a little bit too far and want something higher and bigger than ever before? Will it work out, and even more importantly, will there be enough money for it? Welcome back to our channel, Mega Cities, and let's jump right into some of the tallest skyscrapers that may or may not be our future. Number 5. Sky City 1000, Tokyo, Japan. Since its inception in 1989 by the Takanaka Corporation, the iconic Sky City 1000 has been featured in several publications. Its popularity has grown over the last decade, and it has even been featured in various documentaries throughout the world, including a handful on the Science Discovery Channel, where I first learned about it in 2003. Sky City 1000 was envisioned as the next step in urban evolution, with a mega skyscraper that would dwarf anything that we have now. This indicates that its huge building, which included malls, food courts, parks, and rec centers, could have housed nearly 160,000 people. Why was this initiative suggested in the first place? Sky City 1000 was conceived during a time when Japan's economy was flourishing like a gold rush, and population was exploding. The growth in population increased the scarcity of land, which meant it would become more expensive to possess. With this in mind, businesses spend a lot of money only on land, but a project like Sky City 1000 would have significantly reduced this expense. Sky City 1000 would have been replicated twice more and then linked together to create something only seen in a science fiction film set in the 21st century. Now, I realize it appears silly and was most likely designed by a lunatic, but I tell you that this project was taken very seriously for a long period of time. However, there were numerous issues with this project. The first issue is the amount of resources required to develop it. Due to the sheer size of the monolith, it would require cutting-edge materials to keep it upright, and in order to manufacture enough materials, it would have to push smelting businesses to their limits for many decades to come, with some estimating that it may take up to 80 years to produce. The second issue is deciding where to put it. The suggested Tokyo location is required due to the scale of the building. The predicted cost is in the billions, but this is totally dependent on emerging technology and the politics around it. While Japan is currently doing well in this economy, it is hardly ideal. Number 4. Millennium Challenge Tower, Kuwait City, Kuwait. So what if we could take whole deserts and transform them into green, fertile land? Next up on our list, a vertical city in which the water used will serve to make fertile 25 square kilometers of desert, making it live by precious trees, capable in their turn to provide oxygen to the fortunate inhabitants, binding in an indissoluble and reciprocal made their destiny on this planet. A building that is not to be constructed but that grows following constructive techniques never supposed until now, capacious to rise and unfold itself section by section as a very logical flower. A magnificent machine of refined engineering drawn on all fields of human knowledge rather than on traditional civil engineering. Because all the things we are talking about do already exist, they are commonly produced and applied in transport engineering, in aeronautical and automobile industry, in the factories, while we architects persist in using usual material, the brick, whose invention goes back up to 3,000 years ago, the concrete, and the mortar. Contextually, with the building project, there will be the project for the entire and sustainable maintenance, the demonstration of the updating routine of both the distributive layouts and the finishes of the installation as well as of the structural sections. And besides the demonstration that it can stand upright, the certification that it may nourish itself drawing on the sun, the wind, the rain, on its habitants' use, and all of that has been used in the construction may be returned in the form of reusable raw materials for future generations. The Millennium Challenge Tower is a super tall skyscraper designed by architect Omero Marchetti as part of his proposed Ethics City concept. The aims of the project are to reach a nautical mile in height. If built, the tower would reach 6,076 feet. Number 3. Shimizu Megacity Pyramid, Tokyo Bay, Japan. The Shimizu Tri 2004 Megacity Pyramid is a proposed Shimizu Corporation project for the construction of a massive self-sustaining arcology pyramid over Tokyo Bay in Japan that would have businesses, parks, and other services all contained within the building. The structure would house 1 million people. The structure would be 6,575 feet high, including 5 stacked trusses, each with similar dimensions to that of the Great Pyramid of Giza. This pyramid would help answer Tokyo's increasing lack of space, although the project would only handle a small fraction of the population of the greater Tokyo area. The proposed structure is so large that it could not be built with current conventional materials due to their weight. The design relies on the future availability of super strong lightweight materials based on carbon nanotubes and graphene, presently being researched. The plan was to start construction in 2030, but no further action has been taken. Shimizu is still determined to complete the project, and if built, it would make history as the largest man-made structure in world history. Tokyo has been having issues in regards to overpopulation due to internal migration among other causes. The Shimizu Corporation, who has located in Tokyo since the Edo period, witnessed it firsthand. They had an idea for a solution that was different from other proposed ideas. It started in 1982, when one of the employees went to see Blade Runner and saw the opening scene showing the two pyramids the Tyrell Corporation operated from. The architectural marvel amazed the engineer, who told his other colleagues about it the following day, leading to the idea for the megacity pyramid. 10 years later, in October of 1992, representatives traveled to patent offices the world over to patent their idea internationally. The pyramid's foundation would be formed by 36 piers made of special concrete. Robotic systems are planned to play a major part in both construction and building maintenance. Number 2, Ultima Tower, San Francisco, US. The Ultima Tower was a hypothetical super tall skyscraper designed by American architect Eugene Sui in 1991. It has been envisioned to be built in San Francisco, California, and could accommodate up to 1 million people. With a total height of 10,558 feet, the tower would be 2 miles tall and comprise 500 stories if built. It is one of the tallest buildings man-made structures ever conceived, but will not be built. And it was never built because the idea was grossly impractical. It was proposed to be 2 miles tall. The building was proposed to have over 1.5 billion square feet and be home to 1 million people and cost over 150 billion US dollars. At its base, it would have been over a mile wide. Oh yes, it was going to use the difference in atmospheric pressure to magically generate enough power to run the entire thing. Unfortunately, not a single attribute of the proposed design is even realistic, not a single one. For most of the floors, the vast majority of the interior space would be so far from daylight that it would be a horrible place to be. As no one has a functioning atmospheric pressure difference generator, we have to assume that this was science fiction. The idea that we needed this design to solve the overpopulation problem is a farce. The solution to overpopulation is not to stack 1 million people in 1 mile city block. It is to disperse people into sustainable natural villages and towns where they are not forced into huge slums in the sky. Number 1, Exceed 4000, Tokyo, Japan. The Exceed 4000 was a concept, a megatall skyscraper. The idea was initially created and developed by Martin Pascoe. It is proposed 2.5 mile height, 3.7 mile sea base, and 800 floor capacity, could accommodate 500,000 to 1 million inhabitants. This structure would be composed of over 3 million tons of steel. It was designed for Tokyo, Japan by the Taisei Corporation in 1997 as a futuristic environment combining ultramodern and technological living and interaction with wildlife and nature. Methods of transportation within the Exceed would most likely include maglev trains. The Exceed 4000 is never meant to be built, says George Binder, Managing Director of Buildings and Data, a firm which compiles data banks on buildings worldwide. The purpose of the plan was to earn some recognition for the firm, and it worked. Unlike conventional skyscrapers, to remain habitable, the Exceed 4000 would be forced to actively protect its occupants from considerable internal air pressure and external air pressure gradations and weather fluctuations that its massive elevation would cause. Its design calls for the use of solar power to maintain internal environmental conditions. As the proposed site for the structure is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, the most active volcano range in the world, the Exceed 4000 would be vulnerable to earthquakes and tsunamis. A sea-based location and a Mount Fuji shape are some of this building's other major design features. The real Mount Fuji is land-based and is 12,388 feet high, making it 735 feet shorter than the Exceed 4000. The Exceed 4000 is projected to be twice the height of the Shimizu Megacity Pyramid at 6,575 feet. The Shimizu Megacity Pyramid, which was proposed in 2007, also planned for Tokyo, Japan, faces most of the same problems as the Exceed. Other projects that may be in the top 5 man-made structures are the Ultima Tower of 10,558 feet in San Francisco, Dubai City Tower of 7,900 feet, and the Bionic Tower of 4,029 feet in either Hong Kong or Shanghai. So what do you think of these skyscrapers? Do you think any of these have a shot at ever being built in the future? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, if you would like to see more about similar mega projects, watch the 2 videos right here. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.